So the truth is, some people are married to tall, dark, handsome men who are God fearing to an extent and in ministry or ordained or a leader in some capacity in a vocational church house ministry, but doesn't mean that they're altogether lovely. Doesn't mean they're altogether wonderful because we're not and they're not Jesus, right? First of all, only God is God, only Jesus is Jesus. And the only people we can change is ourselves, not the other person. And no matter how bad we want them to at least want to change, they sometimes they don't want that for themselves, and they might have grow up a certain way, and it's just stuck, and they refuse to see different and to do different and to change. So that's okay. That's a lesson that I have learned and I'm learning, and to just keep moving forward and remember that I was reading a book today, The Me I Want to Be, and the author mentioned no one, no married couple in the Bible had a happily ever after. And about 2 weeks ago, I was thinking about that. Like, who in the Bible, excuse me, that like didn't have struggles, problems, trials, or just drama. Who I can't think of anyone. Like, if you start with Adam and Eve, they had the best layout, and then look what happened. And if you don't know, go read it in Genesis, okay? Like, the Bible is the best storybook for romance, drama, murder, philosophy. All of it is in there. So, based on what I know, the little that I know, or apparently a lot compared to a lot of people, so just, reviewing some of the other stories. Let's think of Noah and his wife. I guess all we know is he obeyed, she went along with him, and they were in the ark, they what they had to do. So maybe, okay, thumbs up for them. Mary and Joseph, Mary, mother of Jesus. Look at how their story started off. Look at the challenges that they had to face, and then look at the stand that he took. We don't know the ending of that, but we know the beginning was well. It was great. It was strong. It was obedient to God, right? But there's so many obedient to God in the beginning. We don't know happily ever after ending. And I think for me, my goal, my dream, my hope, my aim was to have like the Rebecca and Isaac story. I remember being a little girl, learning about it in Sabbath school, and then reading in the big yellow book, Bible story book that my Granny Vitalis had in St. Patrick's in Grenada. And it just stuck with me, like, wow, they had an arranged marriage. So I wanted a God ordained marriage. And, like Isaac and Rebecca and how they found each other. Well, not how they were brought together, really. And it just stood out to me, and I thought, I'm going to get married to a saved man, and we're going to serve God, we're going to love God, love each other, love people, and just live happily ever after. I call it my Bible fairy tale. And yes, I should and will, and maybe, okay, I will write a book on that. But, that's not how it is. That is not how it is. That's not how it went. That's not how it's going. But all in all, I'm learning to let go of what I thought. Let go of those the picture, the Bible fairy tale. Let go of that, because the truth of the matter is, some of us are married to men who work hard on the outside of the house, and it could be out of pride, really, out of, I don't want people to say that I'm not taking care of my family. It's not out of like, I am a man of integrity and I want to be able to do the right thing by my family. It doesn't come from that space. It's just don't want to be talked about, don't want to be looked down on. Or it could be out of the other way, arrogance. Like, yeah, this is what I can do. I bring it in and it's just mine. And then there are others that are different. But there are also those who do the who do that and do have no sense of accountability, responsibility, because one, they weren't taught, and two, they don't want to learn, and three, that parts of the Bible where it says that as leader of the home, protector of the home, provider and priest and all of that good things is like in their mind and what they're taught and what culture in many instances have said is, oh, it's a woman job. You don't even need to know what a broom is. You don't need to be doing the dishes. So there are many of us who are married to men who are okay with just throw the socks on the floor. Like no sense of, I live here, I want to be a good steward, I want to have a clean and tidy and neat home. And it may not necessarily be like, oh, I'm married to a maid or my wife is my mom and she needs to pick up after me. It's just, I call it cluelessness or carelessness, Or some of us are married to men who don't do they're okay with having the dishes piled up in the sink. It doesn't bother you to see dirty dishes in the sink, not one bit. Whereas, you know what? And also there are some men who are married to women who are like that. It just doesn't bother you, and it's, I'll do it in the morning, or even if you have a dishwasher, to load it in. Because I often say, yes, we have a dishwasher, but somebody still got to put the dishes in. You still got to load it in there. So I think it all goes back to how we were taught to look at work and chores instead of seeing it as just honorable and, just being good stewards of what you have. And you may not be a neat freak, you may not be super tidy, but just in appreciating and enjoying what you have. So you want to take care of your space, take care of your home, take care of your body, take care of your environment, and also be considerate of the other person. Just the same, some people, some individuals, male or female, husband or wife, if you know someone is coming over, you put in the extra effort, but you live there. Why not put in the extra effort for you? Put in the extra effort for your family members. Why why isn't the thought process like that? So I'm learning that let go of those ideals, let go of my Bible fairy tale, and embrace who I have, embrace who I am, and be flexible, not be a rug, not be a mat, but also not be a commanding beast, not be control freak, get rid of perfectionism as God is working through me and in me. And I can confess, I don't get it right all the time. Just last night, I didn't get it right. And I resorted to what I've done before out of anger, just lashing out or destroying stuff. And that's an example of what not to do, right? To be angry and sin not. But, got to talk more on that. What exactly, like, Jesus didn't sin. He flipped over tables in anger. So flipping over stuff is not a sin. So maybe cutting up stuff is not a sin. Right? It was disrespectful for the table changers. Is a why did he do it? Why did he do it? So this not random. This impromptu message goes back to what I call what did I say? Is it your husband ain't the only one? Your husband ain't the only one. My husband ain't the only one. Your wife is not the only one. I'm not the only wife who thought that marriage would be one thing and it turns out to be something else. And I'm learning more and more that God is a God of purpose. And when you are brought together or you say yes to your person, you're making that choice as a believer, or if you're a Christian, if you got married as a Christian, to surrender it and to do it God's way. And it's for His will to be done. Yes, we do get our desires sometimes. When I say sometimes, I mean like not every day, all the time. And if that is your testimony, that is your story, hey, great. Congratulations. That is awesome. Enjoy and give God praise. And if it's not, enjoy, give God praise, keep praying, know that it's not about you. And I was saying, it's not even, like, it's not even about we. It's not about me, and it's not about we or us. It's about God. It's about God. It's about God and His will and His purposes being done. And certain things probably wouldn't bother one like it would the other. For example, to me, if we're swapping fluids and we're like this, like this, like this, like this, what is the big deal if I am preparing a meal for you, or if I may ask or not ask and I just happen to maybe rearrange or take something off your plate? Why would it be so upsetting to you? What is the big deal of it? And why wouldn't you be willing to say or express or think to yourself, well, why does that bother me so much? So not that you don't want to do it as a habit, or, boundaries, and be respectful of the other person. And then also, well, why does it not bother me, right? Why does it not bother me? Is it a deal breaker? Yeah. So just learning and embracing and remembering, for all of us, God is our first husband, not in terms of physical, not in terms of physical, but as provider and protector. And He knows us. He knows us more than we know ourselves. He knows everything. He knows our beginning, our end. And the beauty is and when I say, because when you think husband, oh, well, if I'm a man, he can't be my husband. Change how you're thinking and looking at it. So check out and read Isaiah 54. And I know I'm going to be doing some more study on it too. And what did it mean in Hebrew, and what's the context of it all? And I will share maybe a teaching on it one day. But I remind myself daily now, and I remind myself also to let go, to surrender of what I think and how I feel. I repent quicker, and I ask for forgiveness or say I'm sorry sooner, because at the end of it all, I want to be able to please my husband, my maker, my God. Blessings.